The Collector, Chapter 6. Vanessa was a lifesaver. She walked me to my next class after lunch. Somehow, just having her around made my life easier. No one bumped into me into the halls, and no one called me any names. In fact, it almost seemed like people stepped out of my way when we passed. If they seemed to be paying any attention, it was more of a shock than anything. I knew what they were thinking. How did the new girl become friends with the coolest girl in school? I honestly didn't know either. I wasn't about to question it. Not when she seemed like the only thing that kept me from getting shoved into a locker on accident. A few periods later, I stepped into my English classroom, nervous as always, and there was Vanessa. I spent the day having to find a seat beside people who clearly didn't want me around, based on the Snickers or the pieces of paper that got thrown at me. This time, though, Vanessa looked like she had been waiting for me. She moved her books from the desk beside her so I could sit there. Had it really been that easy? Had I really just made such a good friend? Although that class, no one giggled and no one threw anything at me. Not even when I raised my hand to answer a question. Vanessa was even waiting for me after school. While the rest of the kids ran off to catch a bus or get a ride home, she stood outside by the flagpole. Once again, she smiled when she saw me. Before I could walk over to her, Anna stepped beside me. The school was so small they had all the grade levels in one building. How was your first day at third grade? I asked. We started walking toward Vanessa. I hate it, she replied. Oh no, why? She didn't seem to answer me at first. Instead, she reached into her backpack and pulled out her little teddy bear. Kids were mean to me, she said. She sounded like she wanted to cry. They were mean to me too, I replied. But look, I made a friend. I'm Vanessa, Vanessa said, shaking Anna's hand. You must be Anna. Josie's told me so much about you. I couldn't remember saying anything to her about Anna, but that wasn't surprising. We talked a lot at lunch, and I probably mentioned Anna at some point. Besides, Anna was smiling so hard at being noticed, I didn't want to question it. How was your first day? Vanessa asked. Kids were mean to me, Anna replied. She took my hand as she said it. I want to go home. Vanessa looked concerned, but then her smile returned. You don't want to go home? It's only the first day. I'm sure you'll make a new friend soon. Everyone hates me, Anna replied. Oh, don't say that. I'm sure there were some great people you haven't met yet. You just have to give it some time. Vanessa reached into her purse and pulled out a piece of candy. I'm not supposed to take candies from strangers, Anna said lightly. I could tell she really wanted to take it. She also had a sweet tooth. I'm not a stranger. I'm Josie's new friend, which means we'll be friends too, even after you make one of your own. Anna smiled and took the candy. Vanessa handed me a piece. Do you want to come over to our house? Anna asked. That's so polite of you, Vanessa said. It made me wish I'd asked earlier. I was going to, but it seemed awkward, especially since it was only our second day with Grandma Jenny. I was probably relieved when Vanessa said next, I'm afraid I have to go home and take care of my aunt. Maybe next time. I just wanted to make sure Josie got through the day okay. I did, I told her. Thanks. Vanessa smiled like I'd given her the biggest compliment. Good. See you at lunch tomorrow. It was a pleasure meeting you, Anna. Vanessa turned and walked away. I wondered if her grandma was going to pick her up or if she would walk home. The school was in the middle of nowhere, and the town seemed like a very long walk, if that was where she actually lived. I hadn't gone around to asking her. She's really cool, Anna said, watching Vanessa go. You're lucky. I wish I had a friend like that. You will, I said, pointing to the parking lot before she could start getting sad. But look, there's Mom. Anna did a little jump and let go of my hand to run over to Mom's car. I felt the little bubble of happiness inside of me deflate. Meeting Vanessa had made my day, but now I remember I had to go back to a house with no TV, no internet, and barely any cell phone reception. It made me wish Vanessa had accepted Anna's offer to come over, though I was still a little worried about that Grandma Jean would only manage to scare her away.